everyone, I'm Stacey, the 911 Stitcher. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch and crafting. Today is Friday night. It's October 22nd, 2021, and this is video number 77. Now this video is all about cross stitching, and it's a special on black sampler stitching. If you're like me and you love stitching in black thread, you love samplers, then this video is for you because I have a lot of great ideas for black stitching. I have a lot of great ideas for what's coming up November 1st. November 1st is Black Sampler November, and it's special. It was brought up by Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery. I happen to be watching his YouTube channel. He's got wonderful knowledge on samplers, the history of samplers. He has reproduced some beautiful work. He has created some beautiful charts. Check out modernfolkembroidery.com and watch Jacob's YouTube video because he's a lot of fun and he is just so knowledgeable when it comes to samplers. Now, he mentioned the month of November stitching in black thread, Black Sampler November. So I got my attention and I thought, that sounds like a lot of fun. I love black thread. I think it's beautiful. I think when you've got a piece, whether it be big or small, it just comes out so pretty. And the thing that's so fun about samplers is that you could have all kinds of different themes. You could have different motifs, you can have different styles. It isn't something to where you have to have your, a style that just isn't for you, if that makes sense. I had someone in my Facebook group at Stitching 911. She asked, what is a sampler? Like, what constitutes a sampler? And Karen Kluba from Rosewood Manor came on and said, try Googling it. Google, what is a sampler? So I thought, that's brilliant. I'm going to do that. So I came up with so many different websites and so much knowledge, so much information on what exactly a sampler is. It could be anything from a reproduction, which means that maybe somebody back in the 1800s or 1700s may have stitched it, and you're reproducing it because you're stitching exactly what she did back in school or back at home so many years ago. So you could have a reproduction that you're copying and you're stitching just like what was reproduced on the chart. It could be a holiday. It could be Halloween Quakers. It could be different motifs. Now, typically in a sampler, you're going to find alphabets maybe. You might find a border that's repetitive. You might find some motifs, some Quaker styles. You might find phrases or mottos, different phrases that are, popular or meaningful to the stitcher at the time or whoever produced the chart. There's all kinds of different choices. And what's great is that Black Sampler November is whatever you want to make it to be. So Jacob was very open about, it doesn't have to be one of his charts. It could be a style from, say, Long Dog Sampler. It could be a style from, there's so many different wonderful sampler producers out there and chart producers out there, designers that have come up with such beautiful charts. It's basically what you want to choose and stitch in the color black. Now, my floss tube today is going to be about black stitching, charts that have been charted in black, some that are charted in other colors that I think I would love to do in black. So I'm going to give you some ideas, some different sizes, and I hope you have a lot of fun with this video. Now the hashtag is hashtag Black Sampler November. We're all going to follow along each other's progress through the month of November with Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. Use the hashtag for any Instagram or Facebook posts. I believe mostly it's going to be on Instagram where you'll get to see everyone else's progress and the charts that they've chose, the thread that they've chosen. It's just, the options are endless. It's going to be a lot of fun. So Jacob said, I sent him a message and asked, I'm going to be doing a video. Is it okay to show some of your designs? And he said, of course. I reached out to Nicola Parkman. She suggested a black sampler from Hands Across the Sea, which I'm excited to show you about. Jacob said, it isn't just about my designs. It can be any black sampler. It could be a new pattern, old pattern, big, small, a reproduction, Quakers, holiday themed. It could be whatever you want to make it. So I've tried to cover as many of those charts as I can, and let's get started. It's going to be fun. So again, it could be themes, holiday, it could be religious sayings, it could be phrases or mottos that are important, maybe Emily Dickinson poem that I have to show in a few minutes. It could be the alphabet. Maybe you don't like stitching the alphabet. There's so many different styles. Borders, repetitive borders, maybe not. Maybe you want a Quaker border, different Quakers that make up, or medallions that make up the outer part of the sampler. So let's show some. Let's go and take a look at some of the charts that I have picked out. Some are my own charts, some I'm going to show from websites. Let's start with the very first little mini sampler. Now, in my previous YouTube videos, I've asked some of my viewers to send me an email with some of their favorite black designs, some of their favorites that they've seen, some that they want to stitch. And there were so many that picked Olde Crow from Heart and Hand. And this is so fun because it's very small. You could choose any background fabric. This was the very first sampler, mini sampler that I did that got me started on regular samplers. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I first started doing YouTube videos, I was not into samplers at all. I just wasn't crazy. I don't know if it was the alphabet. I don't know if it was like the religious sayings. But then I realized that there's so many different styles that I thought, hey, I might get into that. I think I like that. Let's start with something small. So I think I went to 1-2-3-Stitch and I looked up black samplers. And what came up was Ye Olde Crow. And I loved it. And I realized that I could choose any background, any fabric. You can do it with Aida. You could do it with linen. I chose 16 count Marshmallow Fudge by Silk Weaver. Now I've had a hard time getting this fabric again, so you can choose any color fabric with this design. And I had it finished by a friend of mine who made it into a little pillow. She put some dots as a border on the sides of the whole pillow. So you could have something very small like this that's available through different shops. I believe I got mine off 1-2-3-Stitch. I personalized it. I happened to finish this while I was on a road trip through Montana. This was the year. And this right here, because of the alphabet, there's not much of a border, but a little bit of border here. But the alphabet I really like doing, and I just love this so much. So I had a lot of viewers tell me that they love the sampler Ye Olde Crow by Heart and Hand. So this got me started on wanting to do more alphabet in a much bigger capacity. And I found some more charts that I can't wait to show you. Wait till I show you the ones at the end. Some of the Vierlanden samplers, oh my God, are so massive, but they're fun. Anyway, this was my very first one. I wanted to show that a lot of viewers sent me in that picture and that chart. It was one of their favorites. Now I talked to Nicola Parkman and I asked her, has a Bristol sampler. Let me see if I have a Bristol here. I think I do. It's by Modern Folk Embroidery and it happens to be in red. And I asked her, have you ever seen a Bristol sampler done in another color? And she said no. However, why not do it in black? I mean, typically this is a reproduction. Someone back in, say, what year is this? It doesn't have a year, but someone long ago in the 1800s maybe, let's see if it says, stitched this in school as a little girl and chose the color red. It's been charted in the color red as a reproduction, but it doesn't say the year. But anyway, this happens to be a Bristol monkey sampler by a Bristol orphanage style design. This one is by Modern Folk Embroidery, and I think it would look amazing in black. But like I said, I asked Nicola, has it ever been charted in black? Or did you ever see any of the little girls that stitched this back in the days of when they were in school? Did they ever stitch it in black? And she said she's never seen it in black. So why not do it yourself? And like I said, a lot of people want to copy the true reproduction doing it in red. But anyway, I happened to have that laying there and I thought, gosh, I wonder if it's ever been done in black. And Nicola said she had not seen one, but she did suggest another Hands Across the Sea that has been done in black. It is a reproduction and it's called Harriet Goby 1849. Now this is known as a little gem. It's available as a PDF on the Hands Across the Sea website. She also said it's stitched over 2 threads. It's suitable for Aida and linen. And it's not so huge that you couldn't start off with a sampler of this size and be able to feel an accomplishment by getting it done. Now, Harriet was 12 years old when she stitched this back at Cardiff School. And I love that she mentioned Cardiff School on her sampler. This I thought was just really pretty. So this again is Harriet Goby 1849 by Hands Across the Sea. You could go to their website, it's available as a PDF. Now, after I stitched this, I thought I want something with more alphabet. I want something maybe with a Quaker motif. And I've had people ask, well, what exactly is a Quaker motif? So I'm going to show you Anne Grimshaw 1818. I went from this size and I went to big, really big. Anne Grimshaw 1818 by the Scarlet Letter. So you can kind of get an idea of how I transferred something like this, you know, the size, why I would be attracted to something like this. Let me show it closer because you can see the alphabet. You've got your different motifs and Quaker motifs. Now these are all known as Quaker motifs, and she's gorgeous. She's big and she's gorgeous. And I will show you my progress on her. So like I said, after I stitched the Olde Crow, I went straight to a big one, Anne Grimshaw, because I thought, why not? So I chose a fabric I'm not that crazy about. I chose taupe, and I think it's by Witchelt. Now stitching on it is fine. It's a really nice fabric to stitch on. It's just that I wanted something more like the picture. I wanted something a little bit more coffee dyed, something a little more, I guess grungy is the right word. So maybe I'll try and grunge it up a little after I'm done. But for now, this is my progress on Anne Grimshaw 1818. I just finished up one more motif, which is that flower on the far right. It's pretty. I love it. I love working on it. I think it's just so, oh, it's just so pretty. And the thing about this is this might be a giant chart, but once you finish a motif, you feel like you have a little mini finish. It's hard to explain, but because there's a lot of stitching in each one of these, I don't know if you'd call them a medallion or a Quaker motif, each one of these is so big that once you finish it, you feel like you've accomplished something. So after I got done with that flower motif on the right, I felt really good about myself, and it made me want to keep stitching on it. Now I'm using Splendor Silk, which is a French, I believe. Is it French? Made in France. It's by Rainbow Gallery. This is the color I'm using, S801 Black. It's pretty. I really like, it's a little fuzzy, but what I've done is just take a little piece of tape or like a lint roller when I get done with it, and it takes off all the fuzzy. So that's the first one I wanted to show you. Again, I'm using taupe. I think it's Witchelt fabric. Let's talk about modern folk embroidery for a minute. Now, I just started one I'm going to show in a few minutes, but let's talk about a couple fun ones. Some Jane Austen samplers that he's designed that I just think are so fun. So the first one I wanted to show is Real Comfort. It's called Real Comfort, a Jane Austen sampler. It's a PDF available on his website. And I love what it says. It says, ah, there is nothing like staying home for real comfort. I just thought that was cute. It's doesn't look as massive as Anne Grimshaw. I didn't get the size of it, but I thought that was really pretty. The other Jane Austen that I wanted to show, this is called I Am No Bird, a Charlotte Bronte sampler by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I like what it says, I am no bird and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will. I love that. So you could go fun. You could go Jane Austen if that's more your style. That's another option as far as choosing a sampler for Black Sampler November. I talked about Olde Crow. That was 16 count. If I didn't mention that, that was done on 16 count. Let's talk about some charts that some of my viewers suggested that they will be doing for Black Sampler November. Or if they're not participating, then they wanted to at least suggest that this is a good idea, that's something that they liked. Now, this is called A Year of Silhouettes. Danette had wrote to me and said that she loved this one, and I agree. I happen to have this chart, but look at this. Now, you've got different pictures within the sampler. I think this is such a fun, It's different. So you've got one square that's different from the next. So it's not like you're repetitive, you know, in stitching. I have this kitted up. I got it from Polstitches, which is an Etsy shop who dyes linen specifically for something like this. And she dyed a fabric that's a little more pink. It's got a little more modeling to it. And I think that black thread's gonna look pretty good. So I happen to have this kitted up, and Danette had said that she suggested this one because it's something she's interested in. And it's just a fantastic chart. It's called A Year of Silhouettes, and it's by Joan Elliott. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's talk about another one, Rosewood Manor. Now this is one I want to get that I haven't got yet. It is called Quaker Compass. I love how it's got the compass in the middle of this beautiful chart, and I think it's just so pretty. So again, Rosewood Manor, that's another option. Let's go a little bit darker. Say you just want to maybe have a little bit darker side, you know, not so much Halloween, but just something a little bit of a darker side. Let's talk about modern folk embroidery again, something I just started, Spirits of the Dead. This is a popular one, and there's a lot of people starting it for Black Sampler November. Now, I started it a couple of weeks ago. It is a stitch along with XrossStitch on YouTube. We are doing it together. Chris is doing it in inverted, is that the right word? Where he's using black fabric, white floss. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. He's got a great start. Jacob has actually charted it for both. Now I am doing it on Hazy Gray by Fabric Flair, and I'll show you my progress, which is here. Now I like this fabric because it looks like it's foggy, you know, like a spooky type of fabric. I think this color is perfect. So again, this is Modern Folk Embroideries. It is Spirits of the Dead. And I believe our Chris and I's hashtag is Spirits of the Dead Sal. I'll put it down below for you to see. It's I'm using Anchor 403. I have some of that here. Is this 403? Yeah, just Anchor. It looks like DMC. I like the coverage of this a little bit better. Anchor 403 is black, so I really like that. So that's what I'm using for Spirits of the Dead. It says, be silent in that solitude, which is not loneliness. For then the spirits of the dead who stood in life before thee are again in death around thee, and their will shall overshadow thee. Be still. I like that. I really like that saying, and I believe that. I really believe that our relatives are still around us. So that's my progress. Again, it's on Hazy Gray. Let's talk about another modern folk embroidery, which I really like. I'm going to get this one as well. When I Am Dead and in My Grave. It's a PDF available on modernfolkembroidery.com. This says, this work, my friends, may have when I am dead and in my grave. I like that. Elizabeth Groves, 1822. It's a really neat chart. Let's talk about one more little bit darker side of charts. This is by Lindy Stitches. Now she's participating in Black Sampler November, and she designed a chart especially for it. This is called Death is a Dialogue, and this is by Emily Dickinson, and it's a poem. I think this is really pretty. I forgot to write down what it said, so I can't see it. So this is going to be available both PDF and hard copy on lindystitches.com. I will put that link down below as well. But I love that she designed something for Black Sampler November. Okay, here's some more suggestions from viewers that watch my YouTube video. This is a popular one, another one. This is Marjorie Massey, Quaker Street. Holly and a couple other viewers suggested this one. Isn't that fun? So see all the different styles of black samplers. There's so much to choose from. And again, this is Marjorie Massey. It is called Quaker Street. I love this. So fun and different. So thanks, Holly. And there was a couple other people that also mentioned the same one. Thank you. Here's one that I'm working on. It is Forest Embroidery, Groningen. It is, let's see. Yeah, Forest Embroidery. I'll show you my progress. I think I used just a cream color fabric, and this is my first time using sulky thread 12 weight, and I'll show you my progress on this. These samplers, the Groningen samplers, are really popular too. They're so pretty. Originally, I had planned on doing it in a blue thread, like a variegated blue, but I thought black looked really good too. So here's my progress. Again, this is just a plain cream color. It is 40 count. Now, some people don't like using the sulky because it is a little bit thicker. If using it on 40 count, I don't have a problem. I think the coverage looks great. I don't think it's too tight. It's kind of a preference whether or not you like doing it on, if maybe you want to use sulky on a little bit lower of a count, but I'm doing it on 40. I think it's fine, and I really like this. I think it's pretty. So again, it's called Groningen, and it is on the Al Forest website. Here's another popular one. Oh, before I show this one, let me show another one that I really liked. Here's an idea where you can choose different fabric, any kind of different fabric, colors, modeling, whatever you think might look good. It is called Symphony of Swans. It is by Historische Stickmuster. Now, don't forget, you can, I've mentioned in previous videos, you can pull up this website to get the chart. It is in German, but if you use Chrome or a different type of search engine, I don't know about Google. I'm assuming Google would translate as well. It'll translate in English, and it's super easy to order. But like I said, I use Chrome. I actually speak some German, so I can understand the website. But some of the Dutch websites and some of the Russian websites, I have to use Chrome. And I pull up the website, and it automatically translates for me. So I think Symphony of Swans would be beautiful for Black Samplers November. And you could pick any fabric you like. I think that would be really fun to pick a different kind of fabric. Now here's another popular one that a lot of viewers wrote to me about that they just thought was so beautiful. I would love to do a kind of a crusty looking fabric to do this one. This is Kathy Barrick's AH to EE. Very popular chart. It is just gorgeous. I think Kathy did a really good job on this one. So there's the name. And several viewers wrote to me about this one and just loved it. So I happen to have this chart as well. So pretty. Again, it's each motif, once you finish it, it's going to feel like a little finish, and you'll feel good getting it done before moving on to the next one. So that's another suggestion. Here's one that some people wrote in about, Witch by Lottie Da. This is fun. I really like this one. It's different, so cute. Witch. And another one by Lottie Da, Bridget from the UK. Thanks for writing to me. She suggested the 7 Virtues by Lottie Da. I'll show a picture of it here. Some more viewers wrote in. Here's one from, or actually 2 from Marla. Marla suggested Blackbird by Blackbird Designs. That looks like it's doable. I think that's a good size. She also suggested Birds of a Feather Winter Sampler. That's pretty. I like that one too. Now here's one that a viewer wrote to me about, and not only is she finished with it, she sent me a picture of it, and she said I could show you guys. Now Susan worked, this is Moulin Rouge by Long Dog Sampler. Isn't it gorgeous? She stitched it on 28 count gray linen, and it's fantastic. So thank you, Susan, for showing us this. This is another great example, Moulin Rouge by Long Dog Sampler. Here's one that I'm working on, and I think it's so fun. Long Dog Sampler, Anzac. And this could be stitched on any color thread. It could be stitched in a variegated thread. I've seen the animals in different colors, but for some reason, I just love black, and I'm stitching it all in black. Here's my progress. I'm doing it on 32 count Dusty Road by Seraphim, and I just love it. I just think these animals are so beautiful. I love that spider, the lizard up on the top left with the koala bears. I like how the tail wraps around the koala bears, and it's gorgeous. I love this. I will be working on this. The ones that I've showed you so far, I'll be working on through the month of November. That was Anzac with all the animals. It's a Australia, New Zealand chart. It's beautiful. Okay, next we've got, I mentioned Lindy Stitches. Check out her website. Anzac I'm doing with 310 DMC. Here's a special one. Now this one I will be starting on November 1st because it has some special meaning to me. And I messaged Michelle as to why. Now Nessie Mitchell, this is a design from MommaLovesYouGB. She is on Etsy. I'm going to show her Etsy shop here. Nessie Mitchell, 1929. Now this beautiful chart was designed by Michelle. She also has a YouTube channel, so check her out. Now she's special. Nessie was born and passed away. She was just a little infant. Michelle said that Nessie is her grandmother's firstborn. And she also said that she was the firstborn child of her maternal grandmother or grandparents, and she did not survive. So check out Nessie. She's available in Michelle's Etsy shop, and she's just so pretty. I think she'd be, I got some Splendor Silk. I'm going to do her in Splendor Silk, probably with a cream color as well. I think that's going to look so beautiful. So yes, I am starting this November 1st, and I just think it's just so special. Very special. Very, very special chart. Here's another one that someone wrote in that I think is beautiful. It's smaller Quakers, but it still looks like it might be kind of big. M. Courtier, I'll put the name here, 1799 by the Scarlet Letter. Isn't this gorgeous? I wanted to include this one as well. I think she's so pretty. Now here's two from Whilst Iris Naps. These are sisters, and I think these charts I wanted to show because I think they're a great one to start with if you're new to samplers. First one I'm going to show is Emily Rowley Eve, 1862. She is a reproduction, and like I said, Emily and Annie were sisters. Now here's Annie's. This is Annie Beta Eve, 1862, another reproduction sampler. And I think it's they're just so cute. Christina also said that it could be done on Aida or linen. It is just strictly cross stitches. I love how they're sisters and that she's got both of them together. That is so cool. Okay, let's show some with my needle. These charts are perfect because they're a great size. This one happens to be mini Quaker samplings. It is a design by Ellen Chester and her company With My Needle. Now tell me those aren't just perfect sizes for those just starting out and wanting something small. It's perfect. And look at that in black. I should have taken this out. I'm trying to get the glare not on there to show. Isn't that just so pretty? Mini Quaker samplings. And again, this is by With My Needle. I love this. I think this is just so perfect. The top one is Quaker Sampling 4, and the bottom one, Quaker Sampling 5. I think they're beautiful. Such a great choice. And here's another one, With My Needle, Quaker Samplings. This is Quaker Sampling 1 and 2. I'll show them up close, different style. And again, it sure looks like it's not so big. Let's see if I can see what size it is. It says, these two samplers were inspired by Ackworth School, one of the most famous Quaker schools located in the county of Yorkshire in Northern England. It says, let's see here. I was looking for the size. Quaker Sampling 1 is 157 by 134, so it's not too bad. And 2 is 134 by 161. So these are some choices as well that are great. I'll show them real up close so you can get to see the style. And that's a little bit better with the glare. with my needle. They're available as well. She has a website, and I believe I saw them on different websites, like 123Stitch, I think I saw them available. Her website, withmyneedle.com. So check those out. That's a great size. And here's one more. This is called An Emblem of Love with My Needle. I'm going to take it out of the plastic so it shows up a little better, because the top chart happens to be color. The second chart is in black. So you get an idea. Here's color and here's black. And I think it's so genius to put both on there to give you an idea of what it looks like. There's color. This one is called An Emblem of Love. Again, Ellen Chester with My Needle. So check these out, because I think these would look gorgeous in black, as you can see. Okay, let's talk about some charts that would look good in black, but are charted in a different color. Now, I had a viewer who was so sweet, sent me a picture of her work in progress. She's still working on this. It is called Big Red Ship of Life Sampler by Ink Circles. Now, I thought I had that chart, but when I looked at mine is the modestly sized one. I think she's doing the really big one. So here's what mine looks like to give you an idea of all the detail of this chart. Ink Circles. How amazing would this look in black? I'm going to show you right now. So anyway, she's doing, I think, the big one, Big Red Ship of Life Sampler by Ink Circles. And look at her progress in black. Thank you, Anne, so much for letting me show this. It is gorgeous. Beautiful. I hope you'll send me another picture when you get like finished or almost done, because I'd love to show it again for everybody to see. It's just beautiful. But that's a great example. She chose to chart it, or she chose to stitch it in black, even though it's charted in red. Genius. I love it. Let's talk about another one. Now, this is a special one. Here's one that's charted in a different color that I think would look amazing in black. Now, this is a special chart. It is Whilst Iris Snaps Designs. This is Eliza M. Stone, 1881. Now, what's special about this is through the end of the month, through October 31st, Christina is offering this chart as a donation. If you make a donation to her link, which I'll try and put down below, she has if you pull up her Instagram, click on her profile picture under Whilst Iris Snaps, you'll see the link to make a donation to breast cancer research. You will then receive this as a PDF chart. Now, this is charted in Weeks Dye Works, Cinnabar, and Used Brick, but wouldn't that look beautiful in black? So I told Christina I'd show this because I thought, wow, that's so pretty. And I would love for you to go to the website, make a donation, and you would receive this from Christina as a PDF in your email. I think it's just so pretty. Eliza Stone was 11 years old. And I also like how she mentioned her school. And I think it says pray without ceasing at the bottom. I love that. So I will put the link down below if I can also link it. If for some reason I can't, go to Whilst Iris Snaps and click the profile picture, you'll see the link for the donation to breast cancer research. Here's another popular one that was done in black. I think it was charted in 3799 and another color, 3866 maybe. How about the zebra sampler? Now, this was a popular one because MommaLovesYouGB on YouTube showed it and stitched it. It came out beautiful. So you can contact her. She'll tell you about how to get the chart, but I'm also going to put the email address for the designer right here. You can contact her, and between the two of them, I know you can still get a copy of it, but this is the zebra sampler. It is called Mary Catherine Harris by Erna Hiscock. It's just beautiful, and I think it would look amazing in black. Here's another one by With My Needle. Now, this is a little bit bigger, charted in a different color. It is Cranberry by Gloriana Designs, or Gloriana Threads. Now, because it's in cranberry, I'm showing this because I think it would look amazing in black. It's so pretty. This is called Quaker Sampling 3, and its size is, it was stitched on 36 count, 379 by 116. So you can see it's a lot bigger but it's beautiful and would look so pretty in black. So check this one out, Quaker Samplings 3 by With My Needle. So pretty. Okay, let's talk about, oh, you know what? I have one more small one from With My Needle, Quaker Sampling 6. Now look at that one. How perfect is that to put on the spool like it's shown, and it's smaller. This is only 95 by 120. So this is another great choice for someone just starting out, wanting to do a sampler, but not wanting to go too big. And I love how that's finished. So With My Needle. Let's talk about one that is two-toned. This is in, if I remember right, it was two blues. This is TKLD 1777 Virlanda Historische Stickmuster. I'm going to put the website down below. If you don't speak German, use Chrome. It'll translate it for you. You can order it. It also might be on the Silk app. If you have an iPad, there's something called an application called the Silk app where you can just get it on your computer and you can mark it as you go. It's a fantastic device. I love the Silk app. Okay, let's show some more. How about Rosewood Manor, My Token of Love? Now, I think this is beautiful. And if I remember right, my friend Gina stitched this. I don't think she stitched it in black, but this is charted in obviously a different color, maybe a cranberry. How gorgeous would this be in black? Rosewood Manor, and it's My Token of Love. And I think my friend Gina put her and her husband's initials and their wedding date. I think that's just such a beautiful tribute to your wedding, and I think black would look amazing. Here's another fun one, Eiffel Tower. This is a smaller one, Jardin Privé. See what I mean? Different styles. You don't have to go with the traditional Quakers, the motifs. You can just, oh, this happens to be a Quaker, but you know what I mean? You don't have to go with just the traditional samplers that are huge. And this might have a theme. This might be, now I chose this because I've been to Paris, and this, I would love to stitch this and put the date somewhere in there that I was in. Oh, here, right? Maybe at the bottom. Instead of this date, I could put the date that I was there. But anyway, this is the Eiffel Quaker by Jardin Privé, and I think this is another great example of a perfect chart for Black Sampler November. Different styles, like I said, different cities, different themes. It's an endless choice of samplers out there. Also, before we go, I thought maybe what we could do is flip through a few charts that I have that some are in color that I think would look good in black. And then I have a few charts that are charted in black that are amazing. So let's show a few from my collection. I have lots of long dog samplers. This one is called the Dilemma chart, where you can pick which picture you want in your sampler. So they give you different choices of samplers or little pictures to choose from, and then you create your own sampler based on which picture you like. I think it would be fun to do all the pictures and do, you know, all 16 of them, but then they give you a graph if you want to make it a little smaller to just do 9. So this is fun. It's called Dilemma. Here's another long dog that's very popular called the Pilgrim. Isn't that amazing? Oh, I've seen people stitch this. It's just gorgeous. Someday I'll work on this. So this is called the Pilgrim. Another long dog I have, of course, is Pandemic. I mean, come on, that's just amazing. What's fun about Pandemic is that people are choosing different thread colors to do it in. But again, I love black so much, I think that I might just do black. Here's a couple from Permin of Copenhagen that are just amazing. This one is called the Sampler 1830. Again, it's by Permin. I think that would be really pretty in black. Another one that I had won as a raffle prize, Opening Gambit by Long Dog Sampler. It's all charted, or it's all kitted up. It's got fabric ready to go. That's Opening Gambit by Long Dog Sampler. They have so many you can do in black, so I can't possibly show them all. But these are just some that I have. Here's one by Cherished Stitches, a Quaker Halloween sampler. It is cherished, and then stchs.com. I don't remember where I got this, but I thought that was pretty neat. I like that Halloween with all the different motifs related to Halloween. I like that. Here's another Per Mint of Copenhagen. This is sampler 1823. Now this I bought as a kit, I believe off 123 Stitch, charted with, or kitted up with blue thread, but I would really like to do it in black. So that's another choice or option. Here is Modern Folk Embroidery Forget Me Not, a Quaker alphabet sampler. Oh gosh, that's amazing. Now I really do like the white letters. I think that that really pops out of the chart. It's just so, I think I would do the white letters, but the whole chart I think I would do in black. It's awesome. Forget Me Not by Modern Folk Embroidery. Here's another popular one. I'm going to take it out of the plastic. It's by Carriage House Samplings, and it's called Matter's Choice. Isn't that pretty? You could find some really neat fabric to put that on and stitch it all in black. Very, very fun. Matter's Choice. eilenecross, Have You in Stitches, Agnes Dickinson 1821, a Quaker sampler. And she is eilenecross@gmail.com. I think I emailed her and got it. That's pretty. Here's one totally different. I would call it a Quaker, well, not Quaker, a sampler, Blackbird Designs, Ravens Bewitched. Why not? All black. I think that's really pretty. Blackbird Designs. Here's one by the Sampler Company by Brenda Keys. It is called the Scottish House Sampler. You know what? This is very glary. I'm going to take it out real quick. Here's this one. Isn't that beautiful? I have a huge collection of her charts. I think they're just fantastic. So this again is called the Scottish House Sampler by the Sampler Company. You can get charts directly from her, or I think KittenStitcher has a good amount, but that's beautiful. Okay, here's some charts that are in other colors. They even have a different color name, and I think it would be awesome in black. Red Rhapsody. Now you're like, Stace, really? This is supposed to be a black sampler chart parade, but oh gosh, can you imagine this in black? The red is gorgeous. The red, this is Rosewood Manor. I think the red is fantastic, but black, oh gosh, that'd be so, so pretty. Here's one by Rosewood Manor, ABC Tapestry. Now this is the ABCs. Each letter has pictures. Like I could see E for elephant and so on. I'm going to show it up close so you get an idea, and then I'll pull the chart back so you can see the whole thing. But again, this is Rosewood Manor, and I'll pull it back for you to see. ABC Tapestry. Beautiful in black. And that color too, but actually on the back, she has an example of different colors, and here's one of the squares in black. Pretty. And here is one, Queenstown Sampler. This is done in red. Mercedes Ospina, 1863. Isn't that beautiful? Of course, red would look amazing, but black would look gorgeous. So that's another one I wanted to show you guys. Any of GallianaCrossStitch designs, you know, she's got an Etsy shop. These are my PDFs, and I think any of those in black would look good. Here's one. If we talked about Modern Folk Embroidery earlier, how he inverted the chart. You can use black fabric with white thread. I'm doing it white fabric, or well, gray fabric with all black thread. I showed it earlier, so why not switch this one and invert this one? Bower Birds by Liz Mathews. Hello from Liz Mathews. Let's see if there we go. on black, on a color with black thread. Now these are just possibilities for you to do in a color other than what is charted. Ink circles, Turkish Delight. Black thread would look beautiful on that. Really, really pretty. Here's a few more. I think this is a dark blue, but this is Permanent of Copenhagen. It is blue sampler. Good guess, Stace, that it's blue thread. Anyway, blue sampler by Permanent of Copenhagen would look gorgeous in black. How about a couple fun ones? Jardin Privé, she did one on cats. It's a cat sampler, charted in red, but how fun would that be in black? Especially if you had a black cat. I think that would be really fun. Jardin Privé. How about just a couple of more? Now GGR, she did some alphabet charts. I would do it in black. For my last name's Alexander, so I think I got the A one. Thought about getting S for Stacey, but I think that would look really pretty in black as well. Here's two that I got. Papillon Creations. This is Mary Queen of Scots, which would look great in black. And another one by the same designer, the Bard of Avon. That would look really pretty in black as well. I thought I had one more. Oh, here's one. Alphabet Zoo by Blue Ribbon Designs. An animal chart. Letter, alphabet, animals. So, so cute. And I think all of these, regardless of being charted in another color, would be very pretty in black. Let's talk about Rachel Wilson, 1818 by Samplers Berlin. I'm going to put the website down below. I think it's got a tab at the top where you can click the little flag. I think it's a British flag and it switches to English. If not, then use Chrome and it will change to English so you can read if you don't speak the language. Rachel Wilson, 1818 is beautiful. She stitched this when she was 14 years old. She attended the Ackworth School in Yorkshire, and she stitched this for her classmate, SH. So on this chart, you can see RW to SH, which I think is just so, I would love to do this one because I think it's a beautiful reproduction that is dedicated to her friend and her classmate. It also says that there are over 19 half medallions, if I read that right. Beautiful, beautiful sampler. Next, we have MLTM 1810 Virlanda. It's by Historische Stickmuster. It is a German website available to be read through Chrome. It's beautiful. So I wanted to mention this one as well. I think I also saw it on the Silk app. If you choose to use a computer, I used to be a paper pen, highlighter pen person, and I'm not a computer person. So when I talked to Dorothy from Historische Stickmuster, and she said, just try the Silk app. It comes up, what you do is you order it, the chart. It comes right up on your computer. You can immediately start marking it and it saves it. I don't think I'll ever go back to paper and highlighter. And for me to say that, I'm pretty old fashioned when it comes to that kind of stuff. I love the Silk app. So anyway, MLTM 1810, I think that one's beautiful. Here's another one of Long Dog Sampler. It is Spirit of Virlanda. Now, as you can tell, I've gone on to some really monster charts, some really big charts. I saved those for the end. So anyway, this is Spirit of Virlanda by Long Dog Sampler. Some of them you might think, well, they kind of look the same. They might have the same look, but if you look at the motifs, they're all a little bit different. Sometimes they have potted plants, sometimes they have a peacock, sometimes they have medallions. It's just all in what your style is and what you like. Here's another one that I think would look good in black that I should have mentioned a little bit earlier, and it's massive. It is Metta, M-E-T-T-A, Metta 1848. And I believe, I didn't write this down, but this is Samplers Berlin. I'm almost positive. If it's different, I'll put it down below. But wouldn't that look good in black? Just because it's charted in another color doesn't mean you can't switch it up. Here's another one that is so massive. Like I said, I'm saving the most massive for the end. How about this one? It is IF AKHS 1817. I don't know if I'm supposed to pronounce that first word or not, but Samplers Berlin. It's amazing. And I have a grand finale. The grand finale is 1826 Vierlande Sampler, which I found on a disc that I got off of Amazon. It is from the Sampler and Antique Needlework magazine collection. Now, this is still available on Amazon. I'm going to show a picture of the CD here, and this is the sampler. It's massive, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it. So who knows? If I finish the big one, and Grimshaw, maybe I'll do that one. It's just so beautiful. This happens to be from the magazine. If you still have magazines from Sampler and Antique Needlework, it is Summer 2015, Volume 21. But it's also available on that CD that I showed you. So let's talk about some thread. Now, I don't have all of the threads that I wanted to show. This is Sulky Black. Some people have asked me, it is 12 weight. You take it off the spool. Remember, with Sulky and spools, you can actually pop the top up. And I have the wrong end going here. Here comes the thread. You just take the thread out of your spool, and then when you just pull one Sulky off and you use it. Now, Sulky's a little bit thicker. Like I said, it's 12 weight. It says on the front of the box that it's equivalent to 2 threads of DMC. And I like it. I really like Sulky thread. I think it's a really pretty thread. And then again, when you're done, you just wind it, you pull the top up, put your thread inside the little groove, and pop it down, and it holds your thread. So that's Sulky. Here's Splendor that I mentioned earlier. This is that S801 that I've used. Splendor can be a little fuzzy. It's gorgeous. It's the one I showed earlier. Like I said, I take a tape roller or a lint roller, and I just take the little fuzzies off, but it's a beautiful thread. I'm going to use this for Nessie Mitchell, the one that I showed you from MommaLovesYouGB. I'm starting that November 1st, and this is the thread that I chose. 310, of course. Everybody likes 310, but I tend to like Anchor 403 just a little bit better. It's a little thicker, it gives a little bit better coverage than 310, but that's just my preference. What are some other ones? Gloriana Black. I have not tried Gloriana Black that I can remember. I don't have any with me. The one that I did want to show, I forgot to bring, is Silk. It is Alvarezsois Black. That's another great choice. Now, I had a viewer write to me and send me a bunch of different colors, which I have planned on showing in the next video, but I think I'll just mention it now. She had said Gentle Arts. That's one that she has used. Onyx, Witching Hour, Weeks Dye Works Mascara is another good black. Weeks Dye Works Charcoal is another one. There's also one by Classic Colorworks. Is it Blackbird? I think it's called. That's kind of hard to get sometimes. I tried to get some and a lot of places were out of it. But that's another good black. So there's so many different choices, you guys. I can't wait to see. If you want to email me your choices, I'd love to see if you've decided to join Black Sampler November. Use the hashtag so we can all follow along together. It'll be so much fun to watch everybody's progress. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you saw some good choices as far as different samplers, small, holiday themed, big reproductions, copying what some of the girls did when they were yet little back in the 1800s. It's so amazing to be able to have the opportunity to stitch that as a reproduction. I will list all of the designers I've mentioned down below. Follow me on Instagram. I am 911 Stitcher, all in letters. My Facebook group is Stitching space number 911. We'd love to have you. We have Zoom meetups on the weekends. In fact, Zoom is going downstairs right now. It's a lot of fun. Everybody stitches together and talks, and Zoom will be going on all weekend this weekend. Usually it's Saturday, Sunday, but for this weekend is special, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And follow me here on YouTube. There's a subscribe button. If you click that, there's a bell, and then it tells you if I have more videos coming up. Thank you, everybody, for joining me, and I will see you in a couple of days. I will have another video out on Halloween charts. Viewers have asked if I would do a up close of my finished Halloween decorations and cross stitches that I have here, and a chart parade. So I will have that coming to you in just a few days. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.